Telling your story, WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thank you so much for staying up late with us tonight at 10 o'clock on WCBI News. I'm Kamari Hamer. 8 people are behind bars in Lowndes County facing drug charges during traffic stops conducted by narcotics agents on suspects leaving a known drug distribution location. 3 people were taken into custody. 54-year-old Alan Marcus Pickens of Columbus is being charged with possession of methamphetamine. His bond was set at $10,000. 48-year-old Misty Michelle Dykes of Aberdeen is being charged with possession of methamphetamine. Her bond was set at $7,500. 34-year-old Candace Nicole Holloway of Greenwood Springs is being charged with possession of methamphetamine. Her bond was set at $7,500 as well. Agents executed a search warrant at 10759 Highway 45 North in Columbus, which led to the arrest of 5 more people. 49-year-old David Dwayne Wooten of Columbus is being charged with the sale of a controlled substance, 2 counts of weapon possession by a felon, and child abuse. Wooten's bond was set at $200,000. 41-year-old Javaris DeCedric Johnson of Columbus is being charged with weapon possession by a felon. His bond was set at $50,000. 31-year-old Brandon Paul Reeves of Columbus is being charged with the sale of a controlled substance. His bond was set at $50,000. 35-year-old Chelsea Dean Fouts of Columbus is being charged with possession of methamphetamine. Her bond was set at $7,500. And 28-year-old Ashley Leanne Smith of Columbus is being charged with possession of methamphetamine and has a warrant for arrest for failure to appear. Her bond was set at $7,500. All 8 suspects are being held at the Lowndes County Adult Detention Center. Well, the Lee County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding who is responsible for breaking into multiple churches. Several churches in Nettleton have been recently broke into. If you have any information about who the person in this video right here that you see on your screen might be, you are encouraged to call the Nettleton Police Department, the Lee County Sheriff's Office, or Crime Stoppers. If your information leads to an arrest, you could qualify for a cash reward. Well, the Lee County Sheriff's Office also needs your help finding 2 suspicious males. The Lee County Sheriff's Office has received reports about 2 unidentified males going around neighborhoods and saying they are there to sell home security systems. One of the males have been described as a white male, and the other one is being described as a darker skinned male. According to some residents, the suspects have shown aggressive behavior while trying to get personal information, and they also refuse to show proof that they work for a security company. The suspects have been seen in a black Nissan Altima with an Alabama license plate. If you know who these people in these images might be, you are asked to contact the Lee County Sheriff's Office, Crime Stoppers, or use the P3 Tips app. The Lee County Sheriff's Office wants to remind you to never share personal information or allow someone into your home if they cannot provide proper identification. Well, the Oxford Police Department needs your help finding out what happened in an incident early Sunday morning. Around 12:47 this morning, Oxford Police Department officers were in the 2200 South Lamar Boulevard area helping with crowd control. During that time, officers heard what appeared to be gunshots. Officers worked to secure the scene and checked for injured people. One person was taken into custody. No injuries have been reported at this time. Investigators are working to gather evidence and reviewing video from businesses in the area and possible witnesses. This is an active investigation and no additional details are being released at this time. If you have any information about this incident, you are asked to contact the Oxford Police Department or Crime Stoppers.
Well, we're about to enter the season of fall. We still have around 22 days, but we're already starting to feel it. We have college football started just this past weekend, and cooler temperatures already are starting to settle in. We averaged around the mid to upper 80s this past week. And going into tonight, overall, we're already hitting our average low for late August. Starkville, Vernon, right around 70 degrees. Corinth at 68. For tonight, temperatures are expected to drop even more to the low to mid 60s with mostly clear skies. Kamari?
Thanks, Michael. Well, the unofficial end of summer starts tomorrow on Labor Day. Labor Day was created to recognize and highlight the hard work of American workers. Our Charity Johnson tells us about a man that draws inspiration from his father while on the job.
It comes full circle for Lowndes County Road Manager Tyrone Cunningham. He started his new position in January. However, his journey with the road department began 40 years ago when he was in high school.
It's just amazing the way things work, the way that God works things out.
From 1985 to 1987, Tyrone worked alongside his father, Felix Cunningham, in the summer. He says he tried different jobs over the years, but he returned to the road department in 2002 and has been there ever since. Tyrone says Lowndes County Supervisor Leroy Brooks helped him get the job officially.
I did various labors. I did various tasks for as weed eating, pothole patching, bush hogging, and just various things. And then ultimately I got my CDL license and I was put in a dump truck where I drove a dump truck for years.
Tyrone says his father, Felix, drove a garbage truck for the Lowndes County Road Department in the early 80s and worked there for 13 years.
At one time, Lowndes County actually did have a garbage collection where they actually had garbage truck drivers. They had some in District 3, District 1, and across the river. And my father drove for District 3 in that area, Yorkville and down 69.
Tyrone says his job as road manager was challenging in the beginning of the year because of the frequent storms. However, he says his employees made it better.
They come out and they do what they're supposed to do. They're knowledgeable of what it is they're supposed to do. So ultimately, it just makes the job a lot easier to have men around you that's willing to do the job and do that you've asked of them.
It took steps to get to where Tyrone is now. Although his father, Felix, passed away many years ago, Tyrone says he owes much of his success to his father because he taught him strong work ethics at a young age.
It makes me proud, the fact that my father would be looking at me now thinking that he did a good job, realizing that the things that he instilled in me caused me to be able to work hard and to do the things that I've done and trust in the Lord, first of all, to get to the points where I am.
Telling your story in Lowndes County, Charity Johnson, WCBI News.
And Cunningham and others of the road department will be taking their holiday on tomorrow for Labor Day. Well, a very important piece of history was found right here in the Friendly City this week. Stick around and I'll tell you more about it right after the break. Welcome back in. Well, good things are happening in Columbus. A local father and son made a discovery that connects our city to ancient history. WCBI's Marcus Hunter has the story.
At the new Dr. John Jack K. Creations Fossil Park in Prose Park, a discovery millions of years in the making. Steve Zupa and his son Caden were searching along the banks of the Wcbi'S River when they uncovered something extraordinary.
Well, this is actually a really significant fossil. This is a vertebrae from a theropod dinosaur. The most famous theropod would be like a T-Rex. This isn't a T-Rex, but it might be one of its relatives.
Zupa says he knew immediately this was special. After confirming with experts, he and Caden decided the fossil was too important to keep.
This is actually such a rare piece that we're going to be donating this to the Mississippi Museum of Natural Sciences, and they're going to study it.
For the Zupas, this find marks their most important trip yet to the site. They've found dozens of shark teeth and shell fossils before, but nothing like this.
But this is by far the most important piece, and when I seen it sticking up, I started checking. And when we pulled it out, this is my son Caden here, he absolutely was so excited he went speechless.
Mayor Stephen Jones says discoveries like this show why the new fossil park matters. He posted online, Columbus is proud to be a place where history is not only remembered, but still being uncovered.
Theropods are kind of rare. Their fossils are rare here in Mississippi. East of the Mississippi River, it's a really important find. There's a lot of common fossils out here that you can find, like various marine invertebrates. You can find gar scales, tons of shark teeth, and usually those we keep. But because this is significant, we're going to be donating it to the state.
With donations like this one, visitors across Mississippi will get to see a piece of dinosaur history found right here in Columbus.
And the fossil is now at the Mississippi Museum of Natural Sciences in Jackson, where researchers are studying it before it goes on display.
Rain chances are set to increase as we start the work week before we start drying off heading into the weekend. More on why in the full forecast after the break.
Your WCBI First Alert Forecast with Michael Socal.
Things are looking very quiet tonight as we look forward into Monday. Live look at Starkville, 70 degrees, very cool with mostly clear skies, looking absolutely beautiful outside. And as we go into tonight, expect lows to continue to drop into the low to mid 60s down to our southern half near Louisville, Macon, DeKalb, Philadelphia. Expect around 65 degrees as you traverse to the north near Corinth, Iuka, New Albany, Tupelo. Look for more of those low 60s for your forecast with mostly clear conditions. And to start your day on Monday, it's going to be looking very nice. Partly cloudy skies overall in the morning, but temperatures will be feeling very good into the upper 60s, breaking into 72 by 8 a.m. And as we look forward into this week, temperatures are going to be staying in the 80s. Monday will be overall our warmest day. Rain chances early though, especially going into Tuesday and Wednesday before we start drying off to end the week. And here's what the temperatures will look like. On Monday, we're going to be warm once again. It's going to feel much like today as we reach close to our average of around 90 degrees. But look at Tuesday, dropping down to 83 degrees. Wednesday at 85 before we start climbing a little bit closer to our average high of 90 as we go into the weekend. And the main reason is because of rain and more cloud cover, especially on Tuesday and Wednesday. Monday, we're dealing with an isolated threat, but Tuesday and Wednesday will be a little bit more widespread. Early on Monday, things will be looking good, just a mix of sun and clouds. But as we reach those peak heating hours around 3, 4, 5 o'clock, as temperatures reach into those low 90s, that's when you can see some scattered showers and thunderstorms pop around our area. Very isolated in nature. I don't think any showers and storms will develop around 10 p.m. Any that do as we go into the evening will start fizzling out. But as we're dealing with those pop-up showers and storms out in the plains, they have a low pressure system developing more scattered showers and storms, and that will move on into northeast Mississippi as we head into Tuesday. 4 o'clock p.m. You see all these yellows and greens widespread throughout northeast Mississippi. Those are those showers and storms that will continue on Tuesday night, and even into Wednesday throughout portions of our area. So rain chances early on Tuesday and Wednesday. That'll drop our temperatures before temperatures rebound into the upper 80s by the weekend.
Hi, I'm Addison Polk, and this is Weather-Why. Today we're going to be discussing pop values, and this is the probability of precipitation. So kind of what is that? This is a chance of you seeing rain at some point in the day. So we're over northeast Mississippi and some Alabama counties. So when we issue a 7-day forecast and you see that on your 7 days, you're seeing 20%, 10%, 50%, and that is the chance of rain that you're going to be seeing throughout northeast Mississippi and our Alabama counties. So looking kind of at a low rain chance, this is when we're seeing not much rain in the area. So we look at our models and we see how much rain we're going to see over northeast Mississippi, and that helps us better understand what kind of pop value we're going to have for your 7-day forecast. So this is a low chance. As you can tell, we're not seeing much over Hamilton or Kosciuszko. So we're going to issue probably, in this case, probably a 10% or even maybe lower than that, but we only do 10 values. So 10, 20, 30, 40. At this chance, this is a high rain chance, so we could consider this one a 70 or 80 chance as it is not continuously widespread. As you can see, it's not hitting Kemper County at all. And so that is why we're not going with 100%, but we could go with 80 or 90 or even 70%. So overall, low chances, we're going to talk about isolated showers and scattered showers. So if we're ever on a forecast and we're like, this is isolated and scattered, that means we're having a low chance of rain, not going to cause over all northeast Mississippi. But when we get to higher chances, that's numerous and widespread. So when you hear us say those words, that's when we're having a higher chance. But that's all we have time for today. If you have any questions, you can contact me at weather@WCBI or contact us at Facebook or Twitter.
Weather-Wise is brought to you by 4 County Electric Power Association. Your WCBI Sports with Carlo Barone is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
It was a busy Saturday in college football, and especially in the Magnolia State, as Mississippi State would take care of business early in the afternoon, leaving all eyes on Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin as they hosted Georgia State on Saturday to kick off their season. Rebels running out of the tunnel for the first time in 2025. Early in the first, now new starting quarterback Austin Simmons is going to find tight end Daquan right over the middle, and he's wide open. He'll just walk in for 5 minutes into the game. Simmons throwing his first touchdown as a starter, and in the second, Lucas Canario drills that 42-yard field goal. Rebels up 10-0. 4 minutes later, Keywan Lacey can't find an opening and bounces it outside, and he dives in for the score. His first touchdown as a Rebel puts them up 17-0. What a start for the Rebels. Leading it later in the quarter, when one isn't enough, how about another one? Keywan Lacey punched it in again. 2-score day in his debut. A new quarterback stepping in for the 2-point conversion. Trinidad Chambliss knocks it in for 2 more. Rebels up 25-7 at the half. Ole Miss would register 695 yards of total offense and another dominant conference win at the Vaught. Simmons would finish with 341 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions in his season debut. The final in this one from Oxford, Ole Miss 63, Georgia State 7. Our Avery Cameron was there and has more from a high-scoring affair in Oxford.
Well, Ole Miss kicked off its 2025 season with a commanding 63-7 win over Georgia State. In the beginning, it wasn't all smooth sailing, but the Rebels set the tone for the season.
Quarterback Austin Simmons had some shaky moments to start, throwing 2 first-half interceptions that gave Georgia State early life.
I'm going to have some mistakes here and there, some, mental errors, like the interception early in the game. But as far as I could say, I think I did a pretty good job, especially with the whole offensive unit. We were very explosive down the field. We were moving the ball pretty well. I'm really excited for this whole team.
After those early miscues, Simmons found his rhythm, leading the Rebel offense on scoring drives that piled up quickly, sparking a 46-0 run to close the game. Sophomore running back Keywan Lacey also made a strong impression, showcasing his speed and power to balance the Rebel attack.
I thought our guys did a really good job today. I don't take for granted these type of games, to play 63-7. So what is that, 46-0 run after they scored. So when you play 46-0 football, you're doing a lot of things really well on offense and defense, special teams. So really pleased.
A dominant season-opening win for the Rebels, who show that they can bounce back from mistakes and overwhelm opponents with offensive firepower. Simmons' first start may have come with a few growing pains, but he and the Rebels finished strong, sending a message in from week 1. From Vaught Hemingway Stadium, Avery Cameron, WCBI Sports.
Now looking back on a great day to be a Mississippi State fan, where the Bulldogs were able to dominate the second half and leave Hattiesburg with their first win of the 2025 season. It was a tale of two halves for Mississippi State, where in the first half, penalties and self-inflicted errors cost the Bulldogs plenty of points and field position. But Jeff Lebby and company were able to clean up their act in the second half, lifting them to 1-0 to start the season. Here's what the Bulldogs head coach and some of the players believed that was the difference between the first and second periods.
Making adjustments, obviously, at halftime, it was us, and without a doubt. So guys did a really nice job of dialing in. When things didn't go our way in the second half, again, there was penalties, and we've got to take that completely out of our game. That's going to be something that is huge for us moving forward, but just glad of the response, and thought that was really good.
In the first half, we shot ourselves in the foot a lot, just with the flags, penalties, and things like that. Obviously, the interception. For us, we just got to continue to play fast. Like, we go out there in the first drive and we score in 2 or 3 plays, whatever it was, and we got to be able to sustain that moving forward.
I think we came out the first half pretty slow. They came out second half, with our head on right, ready to go attack it. So I think that middle eight was definitely crucial. We've already had so many flags, so many penalties, so many things that has kept us from putting points in the end zone. Eliminate the stuff we can eliminate, and just keep pushing.
Moving over to a not-so-great day for Alabama Crimson Tide fans who watched their team fall in their season-opening game for the first time in 23 seasons. The Tide's offense started off the game with all the momentum, but that quickly shifted once the offense could not sustain any consistency in the second and third quarters. Head coach Kalen DeBoer is now 10-4 against unranked opponents as Alabama's head coach. He's been in Tuscaloosa long enough to know that losses like this one aren't what the fans are looking for.
We got to start faster in all ways. Yes, I know we went down and scored first drive, pieced some plays together, and found a way to put it in the end zone. But just the next couple series, both sides of the ball, we got to do a better job. And we had opportunities there in the second half, but we gave them life. We gave them hope and confidence in the first half there. And then what it does is it puts you in a spot where you got to be perfect.
That's all for sports. We'll be right back.